So Caitlin Clark's taking part in the Annika, which is the LPGA event going on this week through this weekend. This is the event hosted by Annika Sorenstam, women's golfing legend, one of the best ever to do it. One of the household names. The event sponsored by Gainbridge. They're the ones who sponsor, who have the naming rights to the arena that the Indiana Fever and the Indiana Pacers play in Indianapolis. It's the Gainbridge Fieldhouse, and they also sponsor Caitlin Clark. And to say Caitlin Clark has been a rousing success there would be quite the understatement. She has been met with nothing but open arms. She has been embraced. People have showed up in droves just to see her golf. Nobody knows what kind of game she has in golf. I don't. I made a video about this earlier, sitting at a gas station, to talk about how just the announcement behind this, her being part of the Annika, and her sponsorship alliance with Gamers making that happen. How the Caitlin Clark effect was already having an effect on women's golf at the time, because people were talking about it. So the Caitlin Clark effect has already been in effect, and unlike the WNBA, the LPGA has just absolutely embraced her with open arms. They have welcomed her in. They have put her front and center. I asked my video about it. I said, are they going to, she's going to be taking part in the program. Are they going to televise that? And it was not scheduled to be televised. Well, you know what they did? They found a way to televise it. I think the Golf Channel is going to televise it, I think. Not only that, they're going to televise her warming up. They're going to have, interviews in between holes, I think, if I'm not mistaken. I forgot the exact specifics of it, but to me, the LPGA, Annika Sorenstam, Gainbridge, everybody involved with this needs to be commended for the way they have really wrapped their arms around Caitlin Clark and the Caitlin Clark effect. And obviously, comparing it to how she's done, or at least how the WNBA has treated her, is amazing, to say the very, very least. Lots of people made videos comparing and contrasting how the WNBA has treated her, how the WNBA has just fumbled away badly this Caitlin Clark effect. So there's lots of wonderful videos out there about that, and I encourage you guys to watch as many of those as possible. There's a lot of really good people out there doing great jobs comparing and contrasting them. So I've watched that. I mean, I could go on all day just like they can go on all day. Not as well as they can do it, but they do a great job, and I mean it's right there too. I mean, you can see it, which makes me wonder. I don't know how good Caitlin Clark is at golf, or if she has any prospects at being a professional golfer. But man, if I was her and I felt like I had any kind of chance at this, at being even a decent golfer, if I'm her, I'd consider leaving the WNBA for the LPGA. I mean, you have to consider, a number of factors. I mean, obviously she's one of the best basketball players on the planet, women's basketball players. And they just absolutely will not embrace her. They take cheap shots, physical cheap shots on the court. They take cheap shots off the court. They blame her for the existence of racist internet trolls. They blame her for everything. They will not acknowledge the fact that it's her driving this, even though we have 27 years of cold hard proof that women's basketball without Caitlin Clark has very, very little interest, and women's basketball with Caitlin Clark has a lot of interest. And they've not featured her. The WNBA is afraid to feature her. They're afraid that their activist players are going to say, oh, they're only doing that because she's white or whatever, or straight, or all this stuff that basically, again, the election showed us we don't care about. So so they can say that all they want, but I mean, when comparing and contrasting the two, you just have to think, man, because there's a lot of people, myself included. I mean, I love watching Caitlin play basketball. I want to watch her play for a long time. I hope she stays in women's basketball, but I really could not blame her. She said, you know what? I'm dropping the mic right here. So she had a rookie season in the WNBA, probably the best rookie season ever. Finished fourth in MVP voting. Should have finished higher. Would have finished higher if it wasn't for the fact they'd already predetermined that Asia Wilson was going to be the unanimous MVP that year before the season even started. She made first team All WNBA, got all but one Rookie of the Year vote from a very woke voting media. I'm surprised there was only one protest vote against her because, let's face it, nobody else was in her class. I mean, anybody voting for Angel Reese, that was strictly a protest vote. So I'm surprised there's only one protest vote. That just shows you how far she really distanced herself. People still do have integrity to maintain. But you have to think about it. She's playing golf. She doesn't have to worry about being hip checked from behind. Doesn't have to worry about getting whacked over the head with her arm. Doesn't have to worry about getting stabbed in the eye with a fake nail. I mean, like I said, she's any good at it. It's something she could do for a lot longer. She can play golf for many, many years. Like I said, she decides to get married and start a family. It'll be a lot easier for her. The schedule's not as intense. The actual sport itself isn't as intense. I mean, to me, it would be if she has any type of prospect of being good at golf, being good as a top level professional women's golfer. I mean, to me, that'd be an easy one. That'd be an easy decision to make. And also just to drop that bomb on the WNBA's head. So like, oh yeah, all this momentum you've got going, yeah, say goodbye to it. I'm gone. I've had this amazing rookie season, and I'm dropping the mic right here. Have fun negotiating your next CBA. Have fun negotiating your next media rights. Without me there to pump up, viewership, attendance, and everything like that. Because I mean, she responsible for like 27% of the league's total attendance alone. I could be wrong about that number, but it was something crazy like that. And viewership too, all the big viewership games. I mean, her WNBA games on NBA TV outdrew what NBA games are doing on NBA TV right now. Now, of course, a lot of that I've talked about in the past has a lot to do with the NBA, but I mean, I'm seriously wondering, should she consider just dropping basketball and going for golf? She loves golf. I mean, I know the Indiana Fever are obviously doing a lot. They want to build a team around her. They want to make a championship contender around her. But I mean, do you win a WNBA championship then quit and go to the LPGA, or do you just do it now? I mean, this has to be going on in her head, you would think. I mean, just saying, look, these people have gone out of their way to embrace me. I'm their guest here, and they're treating me like gold. In the WNBA, I'm one of them. So I'm supposed to be one of them. They won't treat me like I'm one of them. They treat me like trash. I mean, to me, it'd be an easy one to make. Golf's something she could do into her 50s. Like I said, it'd be a lot easier to, take time off and come back if she were going to start a family. She seems like the family type, and that's a good thing. If she marries her boyfriend and they decide to start a family, they can build a nice little home together in Indianapolis, I believe it is, and go from there. So it's just kind of the way I see it. I mean, it's something I'd have to think about because, like I said, the way they're going out of their way, they're putting her in speaking conferences, and they're having her as a speaker at conferences, and I mean, if I was her, I would have to give serious thought. I'd have to look at. I mean, it comes under a golf game. She thinks she can be anywhere close to the top level, maybe even win a few events. If she feels like she can do that, I mean, I would have to consider, even if it's a 3 or 4 year build. I mean, I think we'll be there for that. I don't think her fans are going to go anywhere because there's not a lot going on in the sports world outside of her in any sport, especially women's basketball. To even rival that. So, like I said, the way they've treated her, just say, okay, you don't want me? Fine. Have fun without me, because, like I said, the WNBA is basically a political arm, which, again, after the events of last Tuesday, it's starting to realize that, I mean, the biggest celebrities that people actually know about, which does not include anybody outside of Caitlin Clark in the WNBA, they don't have any political influence at all, which is a good thing. And, I think it's something, and I know owners are already starting to ask questions about the WNBA. Why are we spending so much money on them? Well, they're a political arm. Well, and starting to see now that that political arm doesn't work so well. Um, if even people like Taylor Swift and Beyonce and George Clooney and all these Harrison Ford, one of my favorite actors, is if even they can't convince people political opinions, it's almost like they're entertainers and we care about watching them entertain us, and that's it. Like we don't expect them to be experts in our lives. But yeah, I've already made that video, so it kind of makes you wonder how much longer the WNBA is going to go. Especially if Caitlin Clark were to leave. The WNBA needs her more than ever. And if I was Caitlin Clark, I would leverage that. I'd say, look, throw your CBA away. You're going to pay me a lot more money than everybody else. If I'm going to get treated like a pariah anyways, you're going to pay me for it. And she shared it with her teammates too, which is a good thing and an amazing thing. But the fact is, somebody like Dejanay Carrington, who's gone out of her way to hurt Caitlin Clark in every way conceivable, does not deserve to get a salary increase off of Caitlin Clark's back, which is all she'd be doing. So, if I was her, I'd tell the WNBA, pony up, start doing something about these people when they take these cheap shots, or I'm gonna go play golf. Michael Jordan got tired of the NBA stuff, and he went and played baseball. Couldn't make it past the Double A ranks. By all accounts, was in in over his head in that one, and he didn't care. And then one for the strike, he finally came back, and had he not come back for that second three-peat, the NBA might be even further down than they already are. But they got to look at that and they got to consider that. So yeah, if I'm Caitlin Clark, if I feel like I've got any chance at all of being decent at golfing, I'm telling the WNBA to kick rocks. The way they treated her has been ridiculous. The way the LPGA's treated her has been amazing. She's been very gracious about it too, signing autographs. The fans are going to follow Caitlin wherever she goes. And that's something the WNBA needs to realize. They're literally just standing there on the side, collecting all this extra money that's fallen into their laps. And they need to be grateful about it instead of catty about it. So, and then again, that's another thing that just shows you, a lot of people like myself said, yeah, it just shows, women are jealous, they're catty, because, men are never, ever jealous or petty about anything. Yeah, we never are. But, well, how come the ladies in the LPGA have done the exact opposite of the WNBA and welcomed her, embraced her with open arms? So, like I said, we've had a lot about what our true world is exposed for, which is a good thing in my opinion. What's been exposed, and she has to worry about her and her life. And I know basketball means a lot to her, but I know golf means a lot to her too. So, like I said, if she thinks she can do it, just walk away. Don't forget it. Get a bigger salary. Get like I said, a better schedule, a less demanding sport, a sport you can play longer, a sport which is not one blown knee away from never being the same again. Just at some point you gotta make those decisions, and it'll be interesting to see. Thank you guys for watching. I'll talk to you later.